Fat Man here from Fat Man Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I want to do something a little different. I want to talk to you about a gun issue. What we have here is a Taurus G3. This is my personal carry weapon. You see that it's completely empty. Nothing in the mag, nothing in the chamber. What I want to talk about today is an issue that I've had with this gun since the day I've had it. It doesn't seem to affect the operation of the gun. It's never caused double feeds or any kind of jams. But when I pack this gun for any amount of time, if I take the mag out of it, the top round will be sticking out like that. And I've tried every kind of ammo that I can think to put in it. I have tried two different magazines. I've adjusted the lips in the magazines. I've tried aluminum cased. I've tried steel cased. I've tried regular brass. I've tried reloaded bullets. I've tried factory bullets. I've tried round nose bullets. I've tried flat nose bullets, and it will always do it. I've even took 2 or 3 rounds out of the magazine all the way down to where it only had like 3 rounds in it. And I could put this gun on my person, and by the end of a couple of days, pull that mag out of it, and that bullet would be sticking out the end. It doesn't really cause an issue, but I have had times it was so far forward when I would eject the magazine that it would kind of snag a little bit on that bullet, and even a couple of times it's caused that round to pop out of the magazine when I went to eject the magazine, because it was dragging. Let me show you here. Because it was dragging on the front of the load ramp, right down below the load ramp in the magazine well. It would drag and hit that when you take it out, and it caused it to pop it out. So I wrote an email to Taurus about it. He sent me another mag and said it was probably the feed lips on the mag. Tried a different mag, same exact result. It's done it. I've shot this gun thousands of times. I carry it almost any time I'm out. This is what I'm carrying, and it does it continuously. I mean, I've checked everything, but if you put that top round in there, it'll walk out far enough that it's against the feed ramp right there. It's almost to the point of wanting to run up on it, but it's went as far as it can. It can't get out, but it can't, you know, but the reason it ain't is because it's went as far forward as it can go. And like I said, to this point, I've not had any issues with it. It's never double fed, never jammed on me, unless I was shooting. I had an issue once with some bullets that I had molded and powder coated. A mistake on the label when this person was helping me out, put the wrong label on the container, and they had not been resized before they were powder coated, or after they were powder coated, and it had some excess lead around the rim of the brass when they were loaded, and it just wasn't noticed. So when we tried to chamber it, it was actually too big to go in the chamber. And that's the only time we ever had any problem with it. But as far as feeding, as far as the mechanism of the weapon itself, never had a problem with it. I mean, I'm completely satisfied with it. If I ever decide to get rid of this one, I'll replace it with one of these. Matter of fact, I bought a Canic and loved it. Absolutely loved that gun. But I tried to carry it a couple times, and I just didn't like the way it felt. I tried it in a couple different holsters. The thing is slick. The function of those Canics is wonderful. But the G3, it just feels so good in your hand, and it feels so good in its holster. I have a DA holster that goes on the inside of my belt, and it's all leather, and it's an actual Taurus holster, as you can see right there, that is made to fit the T3, and it is absolutely perfect. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here with this situation. I mean, the little gun's a great little gun. It functions well. It's easy to take down. I mean, and clean it as far as you need to. It's very simple to get it apart. I mean, I could take the firing mechanism apart and pull all that out of there and clean it real simple if I need to, with just a push of a button with a pen, and it'll all come right apart. So I mean, it's something that's been more of a nuisance than anything. It's worried me since I've owned the gun. But what I don't want is, I don't want to put this gun in the gun safe and leave it because of that. Because it's more of a, I'm not sure I want to trust it in a life and death situation. Because bottom line, if you've got a handgun and it's your everyday carry, and you can't honestly say, I'll trust my life to that 100%, then you've got a rock. You know, I mean, you've got just good a chance of throwing it at somebody and incapacitating them as you do pulling the trigger and incapacitating them. If anytime you pull the boom switch on that mechanism, it don't go boom, then it's not safe. Every time you need it to have a second shot, if that mechanism does not action the way it should and reload around, it's not safe to protect you. I feel comfortable with it because it's never failed me. The problem that I have with it is, I know there's an issue. I know there's something not right. And it weighs in my head, what if this time when I pull it out, whatever that issue is, gets to be enough of an issue that it don't work. You know, I mean, I think you'll always get the first shot. I think you'll always get that. The first time you pull the trigger is always going to happen, unless you got a dead round in it. But in the event that you do, you know, if you reload, if you ever done much reloading, you know, it's a possibility that you may get a misfire. It can happen. Or a hang fire. You never, I mean, it's very easy to forget something when you reload ammunition, or just get a bad component, and you could get a bad primer. You know, you could forget to put the powder in your case before you put the bullet. If you got a progressive press, you could short stroke and not get the powder in it. Something could happen, and you could have a gun that didn't function completely, and you needed it reliably. If that slide goes back, it's going to charge it with a second round and save your life. I'm kind of concerned about that to this point, and that's why. So I'm about to start another round of emails with Taurus and explain to them didn't fix it. A new mag didn't fix it. I'm hoping they don't ask me to send it back to have it worked on. My question for everybody is, and my whole point of making this video, is anybody else got a G3 or a G3C or a G2 that you have the same issue with, that if you pack it, that round walks forward? And if you did have that issue, or if you do still have that issue, have you contacted Taurus? What information did they give you? Or did they correct it? And what did they do to correct it? Because I like my little gun. I mean, this little gun's traveled the world with me. And I like it. And I don't want to stop using it. But I'm kind of leery about it because, like I said, that second shot, you know, if it's 44 Magnum, 45 ACP, 357, something like that, as long as that first one went bang and you hit where you were pointing, you might not need that second one. You're pretty much going to incapacitate whatever's coming at you, unless it's 8 foot tall and covered with fur. But with that 9mm, a lot of times one round won't do it. You got to have more than one. And when it comes to protecting me or my family, I want all the rounds I've got to be available to go downrange if I need them to. So give me a holler in the comments if you guys have had this problem, and if you got it corrected, or if you didn't get it corrected but they told you something to do. So I don't know if there's something that I haven't tried that might work, and I'd greatly appreciate it. This is the Fat Man from Fat Man Outdoors. I'm gone. Hey guys, if you liked the video, hit subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell so you get notifications the next time we put out a video. Appreciate you. It's the Fat Man. I'm gone.